Welcome back to the garage, everybody. So today we are prepping to pull out my engine because unfortunately it has some broken exhaust manifolds, and as you can kind of see here, getting in there to do anything is kind of a pain in the butt. Unfortunately, when I went to take this one loose, I got one bolt out, and then I started working on a couple others, and I had a great fear that I was going to shear them off. But that's so shearing them off would be very bad. I would not be able to finish up this, fix them with it in the hole anyway. So I've been waiting until this was ready to, or I could take the truck down, have it all apart, and here we go. So I mostly wanted to remove this stud out of the top of the carburetor so you wouldn't accidentally break the horn off, but always cover up the carburetor. I also verified that the system was completely depressurized before I even got started on this. Normally what I'll do if a system is not depressurized, I'll take and just remove the pump and lay it off to the side out of the way. It's a lot easier than paying somebody to connect or to depressurize and then repressurize once the work is completed. As you can see, some of these fittings are not going to come off willingly, and as opposed to fighting with them for hours, I'm just going to cut the hoses or the tubing off, because ultimately all I wanted is extra hoses and pumps and condensers to just not be in the engine bay. It's not going to be used. I'm never going to restore the system. Frankly, the truck's not worth spending the time and money to reinstall the AC system. So we're just going to plug on and remove what doesn't belong. There's actually quite a few hidden and semi-inaccessible bolts that hold this whole bracket assembly on there, and the pump. And also the pump is quite heavy, so once you get to the point of removing it, make sure you either get some help or watch how you're lifting so you don't end up straightening yourself when it finally does come free. Alright, I'm going to show you a little something. So one of the bolts is way down in that hole. You can just see the head of it. It looks like the power steering pump needs to come out of the way so I can get this bracket off. And there's a bolt kind of down that little nook there, and then just right, you can just barely see it there. This power steering pump is actually probably one of the easiest ones I've ever had to extract. It just has 3 bolts on the top and then 1 tensioner bolt. It allows you to release the belt fairly easily. And then once the top bolts are out, you can actually drop the pump down out of the way and just pull it off to the side. Unfortunately, to get access to the actual AC pump bracket, you have to remove the entire power steering bracket, which is super helpful. Okay, you have to loosen up the 2 bolts on the water pump first for the power steering bracket, and then you can get access to the stud on the back side. And then on the underside here, there's 2 more, or a bolt and then a stud you have to remove, the same stud that was held on by the power steering bracket. And then once that's out, there's 2 more bolts that are up above. You can only get one of them out without disassembling the entire support structure. The other one basically just gets captured in the hole, kind of wedged between the bracket and the pump. And here I'm just reassembling the stud that supports the power steering bracket. I'm going to put the power steering bracket back in place. Not really necessary at this stage, but if I have all the fasteners in place, it should make it easier to remember where everything goes later. But also, it should be out of the way for the extraction of the engine anyway. So just be one less thing to do while the engine's back together or back in the hole later.